Hello to you guys out there. well, it's about time. It's about time we do the top 10 video. Oh yeah, the top 10 video on the best games of 2025. No wait, it's not top 10, it's top 11. Oh boy, top 11. Yeah, we're going to the top 11 spots this time around. That is right. So, I'm going to be reading off of this piece of paper, this piece of sheet right here, that I've been writing down the script for so long. So let's get into this. So number 11, we got Captain Blood. Oh boy, Captain Blood. What about that? This is not just any game, but this is like a game that was originally due for a 2010 release date. A 2010 release date. Since it's been shown off at E3 of 2005. And it was going to primarily be an Xbox 360 exclusive back in the day. Oh yeah, an Xbox 360 exclusive. Especially since PlayStation already has their God of War, and Microsoft wanted to create something to compete against God of War. So Captain Blood is the game. Even though the game Captain Blood was gonna come out a year before God of War 3. And God of War 3 definitely concluded the whole younger Kratos saga. Just the younger Kratos saga. But either or, guys, if you really love old school God of War, you would love this. That is right. You would definitely love this. That is the thing, man. But surprisingly enough, if you expect it to be out on Xbox 360, if you keep a good eye on the game journalists, it's kind of sad, but it won't be on Xbox 360 at all. But the game beta is on the Xbox 360, and if you want to check out the game demo, you have to own an Xbox 360 to own the demo. But the final game, however, this is where the history lesson comes into play. For the final game, it came out on the PlayStation 4. Yes, it came out on the PlayStation 4. Not just the PlayStation 4. Not just the PlayStation 4, but it also came out on the PlayStation 5. It also came out on the PlayStation 5. The Nintendo Switch. It came out on Nintendo Switch. The Xbox One. It came out on the Xbox One as well. And it did come out on PC, but it also came out on the Xbox Series S and X. Which is insane, especially for a game that was made with Xbox 360 in mind. Through the beginning to end. It didn't have the graphics that the PS5 or the Xbox Series S and X have. This game does not have that particular graphics engine. It's basically the graphics engine that we saw from the Xbox 360 and PS3. Mostly the Xbox 360 itself, mostly. And this is why it's on my list. And besides the point, I did play it on PlayStation 5 beginning to end. That was the port that I played it on. So number 10 is Pac-Man World 2 Repack. Okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to get my props out, so I'll be right back. So, as I get my props out, I got the prop. Got one prop, 2 props, and I'm gonna unplug the 3rd prop. Yeah, it's a 6th gen game. It's really a 6th gen game when it first came out. But a remake of a 6th gen game felt insane. Definitely. Like, I actually played Pac-Man World 2 Repack. That I actually did. And the fact that you could already tell the original Xbox port is in widescreen. It's the only advantage that the original Xbox and PC has. Widescreen mode. While most players played it on the GameCube. Most of the Pac-Man World 2 players played it on GameCube. Especially for its button controls and all that. Well, it's like it didn't have as much advantage. And that's what the GameCube port didn't have, as much advantage. Especially with the small DVDs. It did not have as much of an advantage point. It didn't, in my opinion. But at least Namco did come up with a bundle later on that gave Pac-Man World 2 more of an advantage that is exclusive to the GameCube. And that pack is basically the Pac-Man World 2 plus Pac-Man Versus, which contains a multiplayer where Mario referees the game. Yeah, Mario ended up being a referee in a Pac-Man game. And that is the thing. That gave the GameCube its own uniqueness. But the PS2, however, which is the version that I originally played the original Pac-Man World 2 on. Well, if you played Pac-Man World 1 on the PS1, this is like perfect. It feels perfect at home playing the game itself. Definitely feels perfect playing it. That is right. Or if you play it on the backwards compatibility on your PS3, this would also be perfect. But anyways, guys, Pac-Man World 2 had the better sound quality on PS2. It's like the sound quality on the PS2 port is the best out of the bunch. It has more clarity, and it's more satisfying. Especially when you land a butt bounce or a butt slam on one of the enemies. Yeah. Like, butt slamming on the enemies felt more satisfying on PS2. Sorry that I'm bringing in history lessons, but that's what I'm known for. The history lesson side. But in my opinion, the PS2 port was the better port back in 2002. As we go to the 2002 to 2025, this is where I start nitpicking. This is where I start nitpicking a little. The nitpicks is the fact that they just made the game the sound effects being based on the GameCube port. Well, actually, it's more based on the Xbox port. It's more based on the Xbox port. Not the GameCube or the PS2, which is a total shame. And I noticed that the Rev-Roll sound effects is the same. We all noticed that the Rev-Roll in Pac-Man World 1 is the same as the one on the GameCube and the Xbox. While the PS2, they added more loud and add more clarity to the sound effects and gives out that big, satisfying whole, yes, I did it vibe. And that's what it did, is gives out that you did it. Move on, suckers vibe, you know? Not just that, but this remake also added a couple new moves. Excuse me? Couple new moves. One of the new moves is the super butt bounce, which gets you better height when you jump. Or do a big, large butt bounce to get to new heights. There's the super dolphin kick. There's the regular dolphin kick. As of which, in the original game, the swimming levels were all, let's all face it, it's on rails, mostly. That's what the swimming levels were. On rails. They're on rails base levels. That's what they were in the original. But in the remake, they are just full on regular levels. That is what they are, mostly. Pac-Man can now kick as much as he wants. He doesn't have to be in the air if he wants to perform a kick. He could just kick enemies. He could do kicks anytime and still be okay. Heck, you could even spam the kick button. Yeah, you could even spam the kick button as much as you want. You could throw pack pellets, which the original game took out that feature to favor the kick, but now the pack pellet throw made a big return in this remake. And yeah. And if you want more levels, well, you get Sonic the Hedgehog levels being added to the Pac-Man World 2 experience. Especially when they are just basically celebrating Pac-Man's appearance in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which I'll get to that real soon. So that's why it's on my list. Next one. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Yeah, zombies suck. The campaign is like okay, but the multiplayer is where it's at. And that's what I've been spending a lot of time playing, is Call of Duty multiplayer. I always been spending a lot of time playing Call of Duty multiplayer in a long time. I mean literally a long period of time, I tell you. That is right. I spent a lot of time playing Call of Duty Black Ops 7 multiplayer. And it plays like a good entry-level Call of Duty game for any new player. And my opinion on it is the fact that for anyone who is like brand new to the Call of Duty series and wanted to get into gameplay-wise, or get into the gameplay aspect of a Call of Duty game, this is for you. This is definitely for you. And I give it points for that because I gave Call of Duty Cold War that. Yes, I actually give Call of Duty Cold War that same rating. So that's why it's on my list. The next one is number 8. And yes, for the number 8 spot, I bashed on the PC port. I bash on the PC port because of the fact that you have to basically work on setting up certain GPUs and CPUs and how to work your butt off on the PC port. But for the home console port, it's even better. The home console port is the best variation. And I played it on Nintendo Switch 2. And it's in par with the other home consoles. And that is the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection itself. Oh yeah, man. The Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. PC version sucked. Home consoles are better. Home consoles reign superior, I tell you. Since the version I originally played it on is on the Nintendo Switch 2 and PC. Home console is the Nintendo Switch 2. So yeah. I've always loved Mortal Kombat. I love the lore. I love watching the blood, guts, and gore and everything. Plus the addition of experiencing the SNES, the Sega Genesis, the Game Boy, and, wow, the 32-bit console games. Yeah, mostly the 32-bit console games, and the arcades. I get to experience a lot of the Mortal Kombat games when I played when I was little, when Dad is like, well, my father at the time would be like, don't watch the blood, guts, no blood, guts, and gore. Don't watch it. Oh yeah, that was a childhood thing, man. That's what your father would say when you are watching the blood, guts, and gore effects in a Mortal Kombat game. Don't watch it. I don't want to see it. And then Mom will start saying, you'll be grounded if you watch, if any blood, guts, and gore scenes were shown on your screen and all that. And back then, I was like 9 or 10 years old when I watched a lot of blood, guts, and gore. With the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Not just Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, but a lot of the other Mortal Kombat games as well on the Super Nintendo. And yeah, I found a way to get myself addicted to it back then. But that's a long time ago. Literally a long time ago, guys. But yeah, it kind of brings out that vibe a little when I played the collection pack. It does a little. And who knows on what would I say to my younger kid. But time will actually tell. So the next one is number 7. Gears of War Reloaded. Man, oh man, I gotta do this. I literally got to do this. This is like good exercise. But with these 4 controllers, you can now play Gears of War 1 on these 4 controllers. And the one that gets the most highlight is the PS5 version. The PS5 version of Reloaded. It's mostly because of the fact that Microsoft decided that they wanted to find a way to quit the console wars as much as possible. But they're still in the console wars. But I don't like it when companies do that. But to me, I always gave Microsoft the evidence of them trying to shoot themselves in the foot. But that's my opinion and my opinion only. But the version I originally played the Reloaded edition on is the Xbox Series X. Yeah, the Xbox Series X. But it's also available on PS5, which I do have the physical copy on PS5. But it originally came out on the Xbox 360. The original Gears of War originally came out on the Xbox 360. And for the time, I played it twice. I played the original version twice in my life. And the whole jank behind it and all that. Back when I was younger, I cannot be on a death crawl. Which kind of ticked me off when I was that young. Definitely when I was that young. It just ticked me off back then. That definitely is the case, man. Definitely is the case. But that was only the first playthrough. After playing through Gears of War 3 so many times. Well, playing through Gears of War 3's multiplayer. Playing through the campaign of Gears of War 3. Playing Gears of War's Judgment. Playing a little bit of Gears of War 2. But jumping into Gears of War 1 before finishing Gears of War 2. That was like on my first playthrough when... way back when I just barely moved. Moved into a house that was like closer to the LDS temple. That was the reality, man. Oh yeah. That is right. Or you could say closer to the temple, but I don't know, but time could actually tell. But besides the point, guys, this game still has a legacy. And the version that I played so many times when I was like younger is the Xbox One port. Oh yeah, I played it twice on the show, twice on my free time. Well, 3 times on my free time. I almost finished it when I was like dog sitting all by myself and I brought a copy of Gears of War 1 with me. Which kind of shows the legacy of Gears of War 1 itself. It shows the legacy of Gears of War 1. It does. The legacy does show that Gears of War 1 still rocks after all those years. The multiplayer can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but this is where I come into play. Number 6 is the Capcom Fighting Collection, Volume 2. So anyways, guys, here it is. So, besides the point, guys, the Capcom Fighting Collection Volume 2 is one of the best looking games I've ever played, man. Oh yeah, man. It's one of the best looking games compilation packs of all time. Yeah, I got to play, let's all face it, some Power Stones, some of the 3D fighters, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper, which is better than the Street Fighter Alpha 3 that we got for any of the Capcom arcade stadiums, or the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. Yeah, the 30th Anniversary Collection pack. That is the thing, guys. That is the thing. But I spent a lot of time playing the Capcom vs. SNK games. And those are the ones I spent the most time playing. It's just because of the fact that I get to know more on the Capcom and the SNK side of the spectrum. I get to know more about those guys in general, but either or, guys, that's why it's on the list. So, number 5. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Oh yeah, baby! Big open world game! Pirate sword action. Fist fighting action. Go run around town beating up random dudes. Go, basically, slash people with the pirate swords. Have like a handgun and later shoot down people. Go play some Sega Master System games. Go in the arcades and play a bunch of the Sega arcade games. Play a lot of other addictive mini games on top. And yeah, there's even pirate ship action where you get to command your own pirate ship crew. And then you try to raid other pirate ships and all that. Like, this is like one of the brilliant looking games I've ever played in 2025. And it came out at the beginning of 2025. That is the thing. Plus, the game has a good number. A good musical number. And I love this game a lot. Especially in 2025. That is right. It marked one of the best beginnings of 2025. Definitely one of the best looking beginnings. But it's all pending on your thoughts on this. That is right. It's all pending on your thoughts. So that's why it's on the list. Number 4. Well. This is one of the most exciting things that we ever have in the summertime. Summertime of 2025. For many people are getting ready for summer vacation. People like myself, we're getting ready for the Nintendo Switch 2's launch. Yes, the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2. Yes, it did launch on the day, the day that people are just hyping up and getting ready for summer vacation. It's mostly because this is the very first summer Nintendo console we ever have in Nintendo history. And it's a good one. It's definitely a good one. It's a 4K based console, a console that runs at 120 FPS. We end up, for that certain time, we get to save up $30 on Mario Kart World, which we had to download on our Nintendo Switch 2 console, which is the exciting thing we've ever done in our lives. Like me and the Nintendo Switch 2 are definitely companion on companion. That is right. Companion on companion. That is the thing. I do enjoy my Nintendo Switch 2 a lot. I really, really, really do enjoy the Nintendo Switch 2. That is the thing, guys. It's for the fact that I played on that Nintendo Switch 2 ever since launch. I actually played on that console since launch. Mario Kart World may not be the best out of the games that came out in 2025, which is why I put it on number 10 on the worst list. But there were a couple Nintendo exclusives that also got me hyped that really is on my to play list, like Metroid Prime, the latest Metroid Prime 4, or the Kirby's Air Riders, and the Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I'll talk about real soon. Well, 2 out of the 3, but at the main time, that's on my list. Number 3. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Do you have a Nintendo Switch 2? Do you have it? Before you think about picking up your Nintendo Switch 1 copy, upgrade to the Switch 2 copy. Pick up the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. That is right. It's better to pick up the Nintendo Switch 2 edition just for improved frame rate and all that. If you're a person like me, I picked it up on the Xbox. The Xbox Series S and X. Oh yeah. It felt like the game was designed with the Nintendo Switch in mind. Especially with simplistic controls and all that. Yeah, they were aiming for more on the simplistic side in the gameplay formula. That's what the game was aiming for. But the game is available on PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series S and X, PC, Nintendo Switch, and the Switch 2 version is on the way. That is right, the Switch 2 version is on the way. And thank goodness it's on the way, baby. But yeah, I would say give it a go. If you like Persona 5, this is a game for you. If you like SpongeBob SquarePants, this is also for you. If you love Minecraft, there's some Minecraft characters. It's a dream roster. It's a dream roster of playable racers in one racing game. That's all it is playable rosters in one racing game. So yeah, let's get to number 2. Number 2 is Kirby's Air Riders on the Nintendo Switch 2. Oh yeah, man. I miss playing Kirby's Air Ride. And I do wish for a sequel. And finally, we got a sequel in 2025. We finally got a sequel to Kirby's Air Ride. I cannot believe it. We waited 12 years for a sequel. 12 years. Or hold on, not 12 years. 22 years. 22 years for a sequel. 22 years. This is insane. We came from playing it on this guy as a witch. This guy's compatible with Kirby's Air Riders. But we waited too long to the point where we finally have the opportunity to play the sequel on this guy. We went from this guy to this guy. But you can use this guy on the sequel. So, yeah. You could use a Joy-Con. It's like the fact that it's made by the same guy. The same dude who created the original back when he was part of HAL Laboratory. But now the same dude who was part of HAL Laboratory focused primarily on Super Smash Bros. And he would always include GameCube controller compatibility with his games. Especially for Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But now, with Kirby's Air Riders, this is the very first game that has GameCube controller compatibility on the Nintendo Switch 2. And this is insane, man. And I think that Kirby's Air Riders would definitely benefit many people who play on GameCube controllers. But to me, honestly, I felt comfortable playing it on a Switch 2 controller. I definitely felt more comfortable playing it on a Switch 2 controller. I truly do feel a lot comfortable playing it on a controller like this. My hands is feels right playing it or playing it on a Switch 1 controller. Either or, guys. Whatever controller we use, it's still a good old time. It has all the same modes that we saw from the GameCube version. But they also added a story mode, a unlockable store, a checklist area, and yeah, the game is definitely jam-packed with things to do. Especially for a racer. And it's a lot the simplicity is still there. It's definitely still there. It puts Mario Kart World under the water. It's like Mario Kart World jumped a shark, while this game just surpasses as one of the greats on the Switch 2. Plus, Mario Kart World costs $80, while Kirby's Air Riders costs $70. And the $70 game did better than the $80 game, sadly. But that's how it is. And we get to number 1. One of the greats of the Switch 2. One of the greats that kept me going after all this time. The game that I loved on the Nintendo Switch 2. The one that was developed by the Super Mario Odyssey team. And that one is Donkey Kong Bonanza. That game finally came out and become the second 3D Donkey Kong game. The second 3D Donkey Kong game. And how long did we wait it? How long did we wait? It's kind of insane. But we waited 24 years. 24 freaking years, and then we finally got it. We finally got it after 24 years. It's like, what the heck, man? What is up with the long wait times? But yeah, that wait is like worth it. But it's an unexpected wait, but this is one of the best waits of all time. Definitely. And all they did is just focus primarily on Donkey Kong himself. The new redesign of Donkey Kong, the new abilities like Donkey Kong turning into a giant gorilla, a zebra, an ostrich, a snake, and one of my favorite animals for Donkey Kong to turn himself into is an elephant. And the elephant power-up is my favorite out of the bunch. Because you get stuck a lot of terrain and shoot projectiles and all that. Like, it's one of my favorite power-ups in Donkey Kong Bonanza. It is. Especially with the vacuum-based trunk that the elephant does have and all that. And yes, and there were references to the lore of not just all of the Donkey Kong games, it also explains a little bit of the lore on only one game, and that's Super Mario Odyssey. One Mario game. It's one Mario game in the lore from the Donkey Kong franchise so far. So yeah, that's what it is. It's kind of crazy, but it's true. But the DLC pack, however, gives me more nostalgia. It does give me more nostalgia for Donkey Kong 64 with Donkey Kong Island. But with the references, some of the new set pieces were just references to Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, 3, and Donkey Kong Konga. Donkey Konga. But either or, this is it, guys. So, this is my list. So, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you later.